Alright folks, how's it going? It's Joel Garcia again. I'm here to give you a quick demonstration on how to texture a polygonal cube, and I'm also here to show you how to export a collision model along with your polygon from Maya and import it into UDK. So, let's begin. Right now on screen I have a cube that I made using this quick button right here, the quick button for polygon cube. Alright, so currently it has a Lambert set for its surface. Let's change that. Let's go up to the window, then down to rendering editors, and let's click on Hypershade. Okay, what I want us to do is to create a second Lambert, and we're going to use that to apply a new texture onto the polygon. So let's close down this window. Alright, let's apply Lambert 2 onto the polygon. Right click and hold right mouse button over your polygon. Go to assign existing material. Select Lambert 2. Okay, now Lambert 2 has been applied to the polygon. Let's give Lambert 2 a new surface. Over where it says color, the color options here in the attribute editor, and in fact, let me step back for a second. This here is the attribute editor. In order to activate it, all you have to do is press this button. Same goes if you want to turn it off. So let's keep that on. And the Lambert or surface should be the last tab to the right available in the attribute editor. Okay, let's go down to the color option. Hit this block right here and then scroll over to the file option here in this window that just opened up. Click on it. Okay, now scroll over back to the attribute editor and we have more options available for the surface, and in fact this option right here allows us to apply an image. So let's open up the folder by clicking on it, and this will allow us to search our computer for any available images that we have. Right now I have it set so that like the directory that I'm using to store all my files for Maya, especially for this experiment, Maya will open whenever I need it to. So for example, if I would like to save, it'll save in this directory, which is called experiment 1, as you can see right here, and it is in my on my desktop. Currently it is in the scenes folder, and in the scenes folder I have an image called bricks2.png. I recommend that whenever you want to create a static mesh with a texture, that you keep everything together in a file. So like let's say you want to use a brick image for your cube. You create a directory using Maya's project window, and once that's created, set it to wherever you need it, and then open it up. Go to the scenes folder and put whatever image you need in that folder. And right now I have bricks2.png ready, and I will further explain why I have it set in the scenes folder in just a second. Or in fact, the scenes folder saves all of your files, which include like export files like FBX and even .mas. So yes, that's why I have it set to scenes, or that's why I have bricks2 set in the scenes, because that's where we will export our file into, the folder that we will export our file into. So let's select that, open it up. Alright, now everything is set. Let's click back on the cube, and as you can see, Lambert 2 has a texture on it, but you can't see it. Before we go on, I would like everyone to rename their Lambert to a name that references the image that you're using. Since my image is called Bricks2, I will call it Bricks2 as well, and have that set aside. It definitely helps in the exporting process. UDK, it'll definitely help UDK locate the file during the exporting process. But yes, I highly recommend that everyone does that. Okay, so it appears that there is no texture here, and with good reason. The textures aren't activated, so let's activate them by using this button right here, checkered sphere. Alright, and now the textures are on. Excellent. Okay, next, let's rename this to cube. And I highly recommend that whenever renaming these, you use the first tab to rename your object. Alright, let's create a collision model for this cube. Hit Control Control D on a PC. If you're on a Mac, I believe it is Command D, and it will duplicate your object. And as you can see here, there are two available now. That's the original cube, and this is the duplication, or the duplicated version. In order to make the duplicated version, or turn the duplicated version into a collision model, all you have to do is keep the original name, so I will delete 1 and add UCX as a prefix along with underscore. This will tell UDK that this is a collision model that it should use for the original cube. Hit enter and it will be renamed as so. Alright, now let's align this back to its original spot. And just so that everyone knows, I have the grid set so that everything will snap to it. And in order to activate that feature, all you have to do is hit this button right here, this magnet around a grid. Alright, let's export this. Go to File, Export All, and name this Cube 1. Cube 1. Excellent. And let's see here. This is the file format that you should use, FBX export, and export all. Sometimes that file format isn't available in the export menu, so you may need to activate it here. Hit Window, go down to Settings and Preference, and Plugin Manager. And all you have to do is hit these boxes right here in order to turn them on. Just check them off, and you should be good. Close. Alright, let's go over to UDK. Here is an actual example of my scenes folder, and our new file is available in there. Alright, UDK. Let's start her up. Alright, in the content browser, head over to this area right here, hit the import button, and now search your computer for your files. I will go to the desktop since that's where my directory is. Experiment directory. Here it is. Open it up. I will go over to scenes and I will select cube 1. Hit open and then OK. But actually before that, here are the options available. I suggest these stay on. Since we're not dealing with skeletal meshes, these do not need to be on. And for static meshes, these are fine. Combining meshes definitely helps, especially since you're dealing with a collision model and the original model. And I'd suggest these are turned on: importing materials, textures, and normal maps, and create groups automatically. So I said OK, and it's basically telling me now that the directory that I want to put it into, my package, that's the name of my directory in UDK, isn't fully loaded, so it's asking me whether or not I should, and I will pick yes. This is another warning that pops up because I have a XBX version that's 7.3. It's higher than what's available for UDK, which is 7.2. That should not be a problem. Hit OK. And This is another warning that's telling me that my current texture is not a power of 2. Right now it's fine for this example, but I highly recommend that everyone does use the power of 2 when importing or creating a static mesh with a texture. So you can make textures that are like 512 by 512 or 1024 by 1024. It's highly recommended that the images have dimensions like that. And additionally, right now, the reason why it imported mines, I believe, is because it is a multiple of 2 as opposed to the power of 2. Otherwise, UDK wouldn't have imported it. I've experimented a couple of times with some other textures, and depending on the dimensions, if it's an odd number, then sometimes like UDK won't import it. So yes, I'd highly recommend that everyone sticks to the power of 2. Alright, folks, it looks like the static mesh was imported with its texture and collision. If it didn't have a collision model, it would read no collision at the bottom. So, if we want to get this into the editor, it's really easy and straightforward. All you have to do is click, drag, and drop. And we have our mesh inside the editor. Let's do a quick play here. Play from here. And I will show you that it has collision. So let's see, show collision. Unfortunately, it's not showing it, but yes, the character cannot walk through the block. So yes, that is how you import a static mesh that is textured and has a collision model. If any of you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. And yes, this is the end of the tutorial. And yes, once more, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me, email me, and yes, thank you for watching, and have a good night. Bye-bye.